Good morning. Hey, aloha, Cisco. What up, brother? Hey, our gardens. Good morning. What's up, Donnie? How's life? Oh, man. Well, we made it to Friday. We made it to Friday. Uh, the trapped longs above 75.71 did not make it to Friday. This is a big flush, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. Remember, we've got this 76.31, 75.11 zone. Hey, class. Good morning. We did a look below and fail and came right back up to the top of it. And then what we've done yesterday, we did a look above and fail because we hit 32, stopped out, lower highs, down, target is 75.11. We took that out and we went to 75.03 in the overnight. Now, here's the deal. I already took a 75.15 to 22 long when we came back up over 11. Okay. I should have bought more. Anyway, I did that on 5, and the one thing about levels, once you get to know your loan levels, right? I didn't short this. I'm not a long-term short seller. I maybe in time I will be. I like to hit and run short. And when I woke up and I saw that the market was at 75.11, I go, oh, geez, we got the rotation back down. So now if we hold 75.11, we'll rotate up. I think, and this could be just be me, right? Because we have a crap ton of inventory over 75.10, right? Sorry, I've been up. I'm just going to jump right back into it. We're back to 75.11, by the way. So let's see if that holds, okay? I think we're headed lower just because of this inventory. Now, the problem is, right? How much buying retention do we have up here? And yes, we really don't have a lot of buying retention because the thing is, most of the people who are buying this, who are looking for that, if they don't get this and it starts breaking 7,500, they'll start to dump it and we'll come right back into this position here. Right? There was the cost basis before the move up. That's where we'll come back to. That's just business, right? You just come back to where you bought it. So right now we're at 75.11 half, and that is going to be the question of the day. Do we stay above 11 half, or do we accept below it? Right now, I'd let the large traders work this out. That's why I went long at 15 to the 20s. Once I saw that the other thing is the overnight point of control is down here, right? The overnight point of control is down here. It shifted down. The other thing, sorry, I've had a lot of coffee. Look how light the contract volume is. Look how light that is. It's 100,000 contracts. So one of the guys, Iron Chef, in the room, he was saying, hey, could it be this? Could it be that? If there's panic selling in Asia, right? Because those Asian markets are not, how do I say, they're not bid, right? They're not bid like US markets for the stocks. So when you have Asian selling, they will go and hit where there's liquidity to get some liquidity. That's how people who run money are. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to redraw a balance zone. I'm going to grab one of these. Hey, John, what's going on? How are things in Thailand? I was trying to make Penang curry the last couple of days. I'm not sure if I did it well. Moran, how are you? Two lows that match up. Now I'm looking for two highs where they're selling into it. Let me see, let me see, let me see. I know this looks random, but it's not. This is how you find the balance, right? Hey, David, how are you? So these markets are razor thin, eh? The ES markets, the NQ is even thinner, right? The NQ is like 1990s supermodel thin. You know, seller, bing, bing, bing. No, that's not. Oh, let me see. I'm just gonna check and see if I can get a good balance zone going here. We know 14 has. Ah, where's the puck? Ah, check that out. The point of control is right at my level, 75.11. Go figure. So random. Sorry. It's Friday. I'm allowed to be in a weird mood. You should be too, if you had to trade this week. I'm going to see if 13 and a quarter, if the sellers engage there, I'll leave that as a top. And I'll use 7 3/4 as a bottom. So this is the liquidation. You guys should know about this, right? The market liquidates. This is the shorts buying. This is wholesale building a position. And then retail comes in, and the shorts who shorted here and here, when they go to cover, they boost price, right? That's how markets work. They're not really complicated. Now I'm seeing for a 75 7 3/4 reaction. And this is how you find out if your balance zone is any good. You draw the zone and you sit back, you have a coffee, and you watch it, right? The reason I took that long 15 trade was I saw that J period, that was the inventory correction, it came underneath, and it did a look below and fail of 75.11. The J low trade is a wonderful trade. I took it yesterday morning too. Now, it doesn't mean I necessarily bought the low. In fact, I was up like 6 7 points from the low, but I wanted to make sure that I had some backup. You know those police shows when they say call for backup? You guys familiar with that? Well, for a retail trader, your backup is the size trader. Okay? So where that size trader is putting together some size, it will leave footprints. That's a footprint. That's a footprint. You don't need a footprint chart. You don't need bookworm and all that crap. If you see sideways movement, that is time and volume traded over a range. Position, sell the position, come back down to the position, right? You know how they have the circle of life song? Well, we have the circle of inventory, right? Now, I'm looking to see if we get any kind of a kiss at 3/4, 7 3/4, right? It's the circle of inventory. I remember when that movie came out, my girlfriend had a 3-year-old at the time. This was in the early 90s. I swear she made me watch that movie probably 100 times. Crazy. And the funny thing is that kid is 36 years old now, so it tells you how old I am. London's going to open in 5 minutes, and rest assured, London is going to try and snake lower and get some cheap paper. Now, you have to remember, for those of you who are going to trade through the day, that overnight inventory is about 98% short, which means in regular language, it means 98% of the time and volume has been spent underneath yesterday's 5 p.m. close. And that's all that matters to us. So we're looking for a move back up. These markets basically, what they're doing now, if you guys lived through the 70s and saw the cheesy used car salesman, you'd kind of understand these markets. These markets, the futures markets, are just there in order to sell inventory. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay? We're just there trying to sell some inventory, buy it back cheaper, sell it higher again, buy it back cheaper, sell it higher again. Anybody got a good balance zone down here? Hey Johnny, what's up? How's Long Island, brother? Long Island in the summertime. Just like any market. It's whether we're selling apples or oranges or spices or hair extensions. The kids in my building were talking about that last night, talking about how they were getting hair extensions. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, whatever you're selling, you got to buy it someplace, right? And you got to have an inventory. And that inventory you paid money for, right? And that's your cost basis. Well, I miss Port Jeff. We did a podcast yesterday for my Proper Villains podcast, and the podcast was a totally Long Island podcast, right? Except for the Vatican, they're not in Long Island. It's amazing when you hang out in Port Jeff, you can get in all sorts of trouble. It's fascinating, really. I don't know about this balance zone. None of you guys have done a balance down here? Nobody? So you guys all just woke up, right? It's okay. It's Friday. It's okay. It's Yesterday I was useless after that stupid soccer game. Serves me right for getting involved in sports again and getting back into sports and watching all that stuff. Good grief. 10 to 19 and a quarter? That's good. That'll work. That'll work. I just want to see a reaction at 13 and a quarter here. Or are they going to front run it? Let's see what these knuckleheads got. Come on, give me a seller at 13 and a quarter. Ah, they front ran it. Bastards. 9 to 12? I'll buy that for $1. That's a good one. I'm trying to get as big a one. I'm being lazy because it's Friday. I'm trying to get the largest balance that's kind of like acceptable because I know it's going to be another large range day unless we do a B profile down here. We'll see. How was the Netflix earnings thing? How did the stock do? Did any of you guys watch that? I went to sleep. No one? I guess all the equity guys are asleep. Okay, London's going to open. Let's see what they got. I'm hanging on to this balance zone, if you're wondering, because of that low here and that low. That's why I'm hanging on to it. The highs I'm not sure about. Doesn't have to be perfect. There's nothing worse than a margin call on a Friday. I remember once Bank of America had a margin call Chicago. It was like 20 or 30 million bucks. So I'm in New York. I get the call. You got to start moving the stock. I'm like, I'm at the PATH train station in Jersey City, Montgomery Street. I don't have a screen in front of me. So I start working two cell phones, calling market makers on one, my desk on the other. And I actually was able to move the stock up like $25. That's because it was very thinly traded. That's my Friday margin call story. Saved them a big chunk of dough. They were happy. Oh, I forgot to set VWAP. There we go. A lot of, you know where that comes from, Johnny? That's an old thing, stocks going up on a Friday. I still remember I had this great uncle in California, and I remember being 6 years old and sitting with him. Saturday morning, he would like open up the paper and look through all his stocks. They were the wealthy part of the family. We were the poor, right? They lived in California, swimming pools, movie stars, the whole 9 yards, right? We lived in Saskatchewan. Anyway, the reason why they move stocks up on Fridays, because in the old days, Johnny, nobody would have access to stock quotes. right? They'd get it from their newspaper the next day. So if you mark up prices on Friday, people are happy over the weekend. They don't call and sell the stock on Monday. In fact, a lot of them buy more. So we had this one broker at our firm, right? And his name was John. And every Friday, all the deals his clients did, he would go and in that last 1 minute of trading, trying to get it right before the close, we would take the offer and uptick the stock, which is of course illegal. And well, not illegal, but I mean you don't get thrown in jail for it. But I still remember the exchange fined him and gave him like 2 months no license. So he took his wife to France. Nice holiday. But we used to call him Johnny Uptick because every Friday he'd uptick stocks because he used to like this guy could sell anything, man. I used to go into his office and listen to him pitch institutions and Swiss bankers and get them long these crappy deals, right? If you are long on that look below and fail of 13 and a quarter, we're looking for 18, right? This guy could sell anything, right? But we'd have to clean those stocks up on Friday afternoon because he didn't want to get angry calls over the weekend from his clients going, "Hey, this thing's down. Why'd you put me into it? I bought 5 million shares of this crap, at you know $8, and you closed it at 6. What's wrong with you?" Right? Those are phone calls you guys will never get, right? When you load somebody into a stock and you get them to buy like 1 million shares at like $5, and that thing goes to like 4, you're gonna get some angry, angry phone calls. Okay? This is something that you guys have never ever dealt with. Those calls are not nice. Especially if you're the salesman. Luckily, most of the time I was just the executing trader, right? But I would get the call too, go clean up that market, you effing idiot, right? They're like, if you don't bring this thing back up to $5, we're going to cut out your tongue. That's how they talk to you. That's how your clients talk to you, okay? It's not a genteel business. That's why I always try and instill a sense of urgency into you guys when you're trading. So we got sellers at 16, right? Exactly. Where's my effing fill? Oh, they are not nice people, Marcus. They are not. A lot of these people would sell their mother and send her COD, cash on delivery, just like Wall Street. If you ever watched the real movie Wall Street 1987, Gordon Gekko is the typical client. He gets you to do illegal things. He puts stock in your name in offshore accounts. They're all the same. I'm long. Let's see. I had an order at 14. Did I get filled? I only got filled on one. I'll sell them. I'm out. That was a bad trade. So, yeah, there's a seller at 16. That's good. That's good. Now we know where he is, Johnny. Right? The original Wall Street, that character, Michael Douglas, is scary how accurate he is. Oh, the 7631 and 7511? Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. I wasn't looking at the chat. My God. I'm sorry. I apologize to the people on YouTube. Harley, my trading system's not actually a trading system. It's just how the business works. European inventory usually does correct. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just going through the questions here. Didn't trading mean low volume? Yes. Okay, and to the levels, how I got these levels, this is gonna this is gonna make you laugh. Remember COVID? So 76.31, 75.11, those levels come all the way from here. And sorry if you guys have, the people in the room have seen it. These are my original levels. Back in 2020, I found a balance zone. 27.49 3/4 to 28.10. That was the original balance zone. And then you just double it. And I've been doubling it ever since. And it just keeps working and working and working. Contract changes everything. The reason is because it is the chart of the same product. All this is just inventory. So those levels are 6 years old now, and they still work pretty nicely. And it's nothing special about me. It's just that the market is so well built, right? This is electronic trading, and these algorithms and the 0 and 1 mafia, right? It works perfectly. So for those longer term levels, this is what I use. Hang on, stay with me, because it's a mouthful. So I use the continuous futures contract, volume-based rollover, back adjusted. Thanks, AZAJY. I'm just going to call you 009. That's easier. Welcome, right? So, yeah, this is what I use, right? Josh, okay, nice to meet you. So that's what I use, and it's been working for a good 10 years now, right? I have a rollover guide in our room. Actually, I've put it out on YouTube somewhere as well. And it's JJ's stress-free guide to to contract rollover. Because I used to hate contract rollover. It was so confusing, you know. So I came up with a simple way to do it, and it works. Yeah, sorry about the chat, guys. I was a bit, I've got to admit, I've been a little lazy this week. The whole summer thing, you know. Josh, DM me, I'll send you the video, right? Uh, no, I don't look at you guys as freeloaders. Here's the thing. 2 nights ago, when this silly soccer game happened, I was hanging out with the youngsters in my building, and I'm talking 40-year-olds. And I think I had a little too much cider, and I'm not a big drinker at all. So yesterday I was useless. I did some decent trades, but I wasn't really spot on. Oh, you're seeing some large orders on I haven't watched the tape in ages. Um, if you're seeing those big orders, that's all short covering. It's okay. You know, it was actually the second soccer game I've ever watched, and it's the first time I ever saw this Mess guy play Messi, right? I'd never seen him play before, so I just couldn't figure it out. That was what did he do, Santeria? I don't know. There is a lot about soccer that I do not understand. I can understand how you guys have trouble seeing what's going on the chart and interpreting it, because I was watching soccer and I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. It just looks like you run around a lot and you never get to hit anybody. How frustrating. I mean, from what I saw, the little I saw was pretty good, right? You know what was funny? Because I'm Canadian. And they said, I remember the guys going, "Oh, Canada won this game." And I'm like, "Canada's got a soccer team?" And they were like, "Yeah," and they won. And I go, "Was there any fights?" Because I just imagine recruiting a bunch of hockey players, right? As soon as there's like Donnybrook, they just drop the gloves and square off, right? But there's no fighting in soccer. Anyway, okay, should we get to work? Sometimes people who are new on the stream, if there is no trade or if it's choppy, I will intentionally try and distract you with a story so you don't lose money. Now, if you are long, right? Because the lows on these candles, these I don't know why anybody would pay for order flow software when you can get the best order flow software for free. You don't even need to look at this stuff. This, if anyone's new, this is called a TPO or a market profile chart. Okay, and this is just a map of the city. Now, if you want to do business in this neighborhood, there's there's a close up of the neighborhood. Very simple, right? Watch the offer move. Now we know that the sellers are parked, right? Like crows on a power line. They're right here, right? So we did another dip. If you are long, say you want long 14, right? You should be selling a little here before 16. Put your offers out. If you bought 5 contracts, put some out before. And if you want to hold a runner, stack your runner right above that stop, right? You're going to have sellers here too. The top of the candle, if you're wondering how I knew that there would be sellers here, the top of the candle is where sellers initiate. Yes, it's true. Don't laugh, you guys. You guys have all been suckered by marketing. You guys have all been suckered by marketing, right? You think that you need to spend all this money to find out where the big traders are trading. Let me tell you something. If you're a big trader, you would have to be on a 4-day cocaine binge to tell everybody where your orders are. You'd have to be insane, right? Because if you're a big trader and I know where your orders are, I'm going to trade around you. I'm going to pick your bones clean because I'm sophisticated and I know what I'm doing. That's like that's like taking a baby and putting it right in a circle of tigers and going, "Here's lunch." So anybody who tries to sell you order flow software or teach you volume analysis or where the big traders, well, ask that person, have you ever traded 1 million shares? No, they haven't. Exactly. We have done by the time you figure out what we're doing, we have transacted billions of dollars around you and you guys don't even know it, right? The best order flow software is a 1 minute chart. Check this out. You knew there were sellers here. They saw buyers, so they raised price, right? If they continue to see buyers, they'll raise price to this level. Why? That's where they sold again. How do I know this? Right? How do I know this? Because I've sold billions of shares of stock into US capital markets for 34 years. So who is the order book? The order book is orders from retail. They'll put some orders in the order book that way, but they're not going to show their hand, Rosen. That'd be like, I'm not a poker player, but I know this much. If I was playing poker, I wouldn't go, "Hey guys, are these cards any good?" You guys got to think about these things. Like you have to use some common sense, eh? In business, you got to be a little street smart. Don't fall for everything that somebody sells you, right? You got to be a little street smart, folks, okay? You can't be naive in this business. It's a simple business. The only time chart-based trading, all these tools, how do you think they traded before Windows 95, right? Look, see, you got three candles at the same high. Guess what? Your sellers are at the same level now, right? So they moved their offer up. They're here. Now there's competition here. They're going to put it on sale because you have to, right? I got 1,000 to sell. Josh has got 1,000. Marcus has got 1,000. Johnny Port Jeff has got 800. We're all selling together. You should stop looking at the order book, right? You should stop looking at the order book and simplify your life. Is auction market theory the underlying theory of price action? It is, but the thing is, Josh, are you writing a white paper on this or do you actually want to make some money? You guys remember it's a market. You buy a bunch of cheap crap, you sell it at a higher price. Rinse and repeat. Okay? If you want to make money, take all that auction market theory, price action theory, looking at the DOM, all of that stuff. Take that and throw it out the window. Okay? Focus on the 1 minute chart because now you know that there are sellers here, right? Well, I don't teach a method, you guys. I just teach the business, right? I've taken 200 companies public, so I know a little bit about trading and trading size. Right? So I know that there's a seller here. Now the seller has moved down here. Had you been long 14, 15 and you didn't sell the 16s, I would have fired you. That is a truth. That is the only truth I know is you either get the fill or you're fired. Right? When you work on a trade desk, there's no strategies. There's only one way to do business. Right? There's always going to be somebody who's trying to sell you something, Josh. Right? Why would you want to spend time learning all these strategies? I mean, unless you're like 14 years old and you got 50 years ahead of you just to waste time. But if you're grown and you want to make some money, just throw all that shit out and watch the 1 minute chart. Right? This business is founded on the principle if you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, baffle them with your bullshit. And you guys buy it hook, line, and sinker. You get all sucked into the marketing of all these trading courses and books and blah, blah, blah. But nobody actually learns the business. And the funny thing is, the business has been around for thousands of years, and everybody thinks of it in different terms. Is it this theory? It's random. It's da 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 da, right? Well, maybe stop thinking a little, Josh, and start listening. Give listening a try, right? Maybe try listening. It'll help, right? If you're having trouble and you're not making any money, it's because you're not focusing on what you should be focusing on. And you don't need psychology. You don't need to try a new concept. You just have no clue what the hell's going on. I tell you what's going on and how to develop a business plan so you can trade it. And if it doesn't happen well, then you don't lose a lot of money because you guys don't have millions of dollars to trade with. So you can't afford to be offside 5, 10 grand in a position, right? My whole thing and what we do at Trading Syndicate is we teach regular people how to make a living. That's it. I know you guys don't have 10,000 hours to learn how to trade. That's bullshit, right? It's okay. You're allowed to ramble, man. It's a free country. And I'm not, and it's Friday. It's cool. But what I want to do is I want to help people make money. I don't want to be right. I don't want to look smart, right? One of the things you got to learn in this business is to admit you're wrong quickly. Otherwise, it gets really expensive, right? So what I want you guys to do is I want you to do business when it makes sense. The business you should be looking for now is you should be looking for a look below and fail of 7507. You want the market to come down, look below, buy a little position, and then sell it into 13s. That's all you want right now. This crap, you leave that alone. That's for the larger traders, right? This is for wholesale, right? If you just came in and you were drawing a balance zone, you could probably do a nice one here, right? That's not a bad one, right? The trick to trading is knowing and understanding the business. All you have to understand is the top of the candle is where the sellers initiate and start to compete and push price lower. The bottom is where they stop because they see buyers, so they raise price. It's commerce. Even if it's done by algorithms, it still has to make sense business wise, right? So every trade that you take is a business transaction, and you should have a valid reason for going long now. And if you are long, then you know that there's going to be sellers here, right? At 14 and a half and the 13 and a quarter, right? So if you know where the sellers are, you wait for the best price. This is the cost basis. This is the discount zone, right? So this is cost basis. This is discount. This is profit. This chart is a sales chart. It's telling you where price is being accepted, where they're coming for it. It's distribution of inventory. Why? Because it's a market. It's not a hot tub. It's a market, right? So a market, you buy cheap crap and you sell it at a higher price. That's all you're doing. Did you see how we did a look below and fail of the middle of the zone? So now you're targeting 14. See? Told you. I will tell you what trades are going to happen before they happen, right? And what to do and how to take them and how they will work or how they will not work, right? You should be selling into this, right? You're long 12, you're selling the 15s. Sell them like you stole them, my friends. Sell them like you stole them. There's going to be some traffic up in the 16s. So make sure you make your paper, boo-boo. Trades are based on two concepts: lack of supply or too much supply. We go long when there's no supply, we become a supplier. When there's too much supply, we go short. And that's it for me this morning. Have a wonderful weekend. We got a nice rotation going here. Eh? Look, check it out. So this is what we do. We just draw a nice rotation like this, right? And then we just trade it back and forth, right? So if you get like a 10 to 16 rotation, when it looks below and fails, you buy it and sell the top. It looks above and fails, you short it, buy the bottom, right? It's really, really a beautiful thing. Just back and forth. Now, what we're doing is we're absorbing the inventory from above. Yes, there are streams on our Discord that are not streamed on YouTube. I do price action labs, or what we call execution labs, where we focus on execution. I do sessions on trading longer time frames, sizing up. Like we have some traders in our room who, make 5, 10 grand a day. For those people, then I do stuff for like 101 for beginners. I'm always working. I'm always in front of the screens. I'm in the UK. Our Discord is tradingsyndicate.org. Come give us a shot. I promise you'll learn more in a month than you will in 10 years anywhere else. And information that can actually make you money. Because everything we do is practical. It's got to be practical, right? If it's not practical, it doesn't serve you because, listen, you guys aren't writing a PhD doctoral thesis on auction market theory. You just want to pay your mortgage, right? I mean, you just want to pay your bills. You want to make an income, right? If you want to go further, I can coach you and get you onto a trading desk. I can coach you and get you your own fund. I've been around for 34 years and I've been doing this, and it's really the only thing I'm good at. So, have a great weekend if I don't see you later. And when you join Josh, just message me in the room if you need any help. I'm always around. Thanks, everyone. Now, you guys stay out trade. Remember now, Fridays for keeping the money you made this week, right? Fridays for keeping the money you made this week. So trade smart. Don't let them take anything back, right? Take what you can, give nothing back, right? That is our motto, right? So today, don't go for the vault. Pretend we're robbing banks. We're just going for the cash drawer. And the street's got lots of banks. So, you can rob a bank, take a coffee break, rob another bank, right? Don't go for the vault on Fridays. Okay? Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend. Don't take candy from strange market makers. And we will see you at 9:15 a.m. for our next stream. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.